Hello, it's your Uncle Spurt here, and today we're having a proper good squint at Motorola's most premium non-bendy phone, the Edge 60 Pro. It's another gorgeous, skinny, pocket-sized rectangle with ridiculously good battery life and more clever pants features that you can shake even quite a sizable stick at. And if you like the sound of that, well, the Edge 60 Pro will cost you £600 here in Blighty, unless you find it in a good deal, or you nick it, I guess. So it's competing with the likes of the Poco F7 Ultra, Oppo's Reno 13 Pro, and the iPhone 16e. Spit. Basically, all of those slightly more affordable flagship alternatives. My SIM has been firmly lodged inside of the Motorola Edge 60 Pro this past week, so here's my full review, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe, ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now, as usual, Moto's flagship is a beautifully skinny blower, maybe not quite as slender as Samsung's crazily expensive Galaxy S25 Edge, but it does actually feel just as thin thanks to that lovely curvy design. It's super comfortable to clutch and to generally use as well, helped along by the soft touch rear finish, and the fact that it's impressively lightweight as well, certainly compared with a lot of other flagships. You've got a trio of Pantone colours to choose from as well. This here, dazzling blue, otherwise also sparkling grape, which just makes me thirsty, or the slightly more subtle shadow, if you don't like a bold hue. I really like this dark blue finish. I wouldn't say it was particularly dazzling, but it looks nice. Certainly stands out against other smartphones. The fact that it's a matte soft touch finish means that it doesn't get all grubby, grimy, greasy or anything as well. You just have to occasionally flick off bits of cack. And also quite unusual is the almost completely flat profile around back. And that camera bump isn't really a bump at all, it's more of a suggestion. Unfortunately, that slender frame is plastic rather than metal, but honestly didn't bother me. It's so skinny, it's practically non-existent anyway. And as usual, the Edge 60 Pro seems to be a suitably hardy bugger. You don't get a pre-installed screen protector, but that Gorilla Glass doing its job, not a single scratch or nick to speak of yet. It's IP68 and IP69 rated, so it can be fully submerged in water as well as spurted quite substantially. And it's passed those military standard 810H tests as well, so it can put up with a good bit of hot and cold, as well as excessive vibrations. Great news for when it's stashed in my pants. And oh yeah, as usual, Motorola has gone and spritzed some perfume into the box with this thing, so certainly when you first pluck out the Edge 60 Pro, for that first 24 hours, it's the best smelling smartphone of 2025. As now it just smells more like sweat and alcohol and black pudding. And maybe that's just mine. Now, the Edge 60 Pro sports an in-display fingerprint sensor. It is just your basic optical effort, not an ultrasonic scanner, but it generally works fine. Only very occasionally does it give me any jip at all, at which point the face unlock usually takes over and lets me right in anyway. On the software side, Motorola is offering 3 guaranteed OS updates and 4 years of security patching with the Edge 60 Pro, which ain't bad, but let's face it, for a flagship phone around this sort of price point, it does fall behind quite a few rivals. So if you want a phone that you're going to keep for longer than 3-4 years, or you're planning on maybe passing it off to your sprog after you're done with it, then you might want to look elsewhere. And as usual, it's good old-fashioned Android 15 slapped on here, although Motorola has tweaked and polished it in quite a few different ways. The most significant new update being Moto AI, which even comes with its own physical key here on the left edge of the phone. You can long push this to conjure up the Moto AI assistant, otherwise double push it to jump straight into a specific Moto AI feature. And this is customizable to a small degree, and that basically you can deactivate it or change how long you press and hold it for. With the double press, you've got a couple of different options, but you can't remap it to a non-AI feature. So no, you can't use it as an iPhone style action button. I can't push it in and then magically have it load up your mum's OnlyFans channel, sadly. And Moto AI is surprisingly decent considering it is absolutely brand new. It'll occasionally balk up for sure, but it does have some decent features chucked in there, the best being Remember This. That's Motorola's take on screenshots, which can quickly store and retrieve anything on your Edge 60 Pro's display. And that's particularly good for saving menus, train times, flight details, all that sort of stuff. Once you've stored that information away using Remember This, you can then just bring up the Moto AI assistant and ask for the relevant details and it'll pop right up for you. You've also got Catch Me Up, which can summarize all of your unread group chat messages, etc. Quite handy if you do find you've been added to a lot of different group chats. You go on Do Not Disturb for a few hours, come back, and you've got absolutely bugger loads of stuff to read through. And Motorola's AI assistant is pretty decent as well, certainly about 10 times more useful than bloody Siri. Although that is kind of like saying a 5-year-old child makes a better butler than a feral Rottweiler. Yes, there's a pretty good chance that your breakfast will just comprise of a plate of plasticine with fistfuls of Haribo squashed into it. But you know, the worst you'll have to contend with is a mild stomach ache rather than having both of your arms ripped off at the socket. You can actually have a flowing conversation with Moto AI, and she usually dispenses some pretty useful info. And naturally, you've got all of the usual extra Moto bits, including Smart Connect for quickly hooking up to a laptop, sharing files using the camera here as your webcam. Oh, biscuits! You got the endlessly entertaining gesture support. And a nifty gaming mode as well, which isn't quite as fully featured as rivals from Xiaomi, OnePlus, etc. That's still decent. And yes, sadly, Motorola is starting to chuck a bit of crapware onto its phones, but nothing too horrific, not as bad as an Honor or a Xiaomi phone, for instance. Just a few bits of bollocks like Facebook, LinkedIn, and a few random crappy games. All the regular features you'd expect from a mid-rangey, flagshipy smartphone are present and correct, like VSIM support, for instance. And when it comes to the storage, Motorola has rather generously crammed 512 gigs of the stuff into this model, so quite a bit more than you'd get in your regular Google and Apple phones, for instance, where you have to pay for the privilege of expanding that storage. Sadly, no micro SD memory card support, however, just a single SIM slot in that SIM tray. If I can actually turn the bugger around, as you can see, you can't do anything to the back end. And as always, Motorola has slapped an absolutely stunning 6.67-inch POLED display on the front end of the Edge 60 Pro. It's a 1220p resolution display, so even though it's a good size, those visuals remain pleasingly crispy. Apparently the color output has been approved by Pantone, although the Edge 60 Pro is set to vivid display mode by default. I quite personally enjoyed those punchy tones, but you do have other options if you want to dial it down a bit. And apparently the Edge 60 Pro supports HDR10 Plus streaming, although my review model, Netflix, is saying a big fat no to that right now. In fact, it's only reporting Widevine L3 compatibility, which means it's not only a no to HDR streaming for me, but it's also a no to HD streaming. This thing will only play back video in SD resolution, which looks kind of blocky and crap. Of course, I'm assuming that's just an issue with my review model as it is early pre-retail, because I'd be absolutely shocked if the Edge 60 Pro was released without the L1 Widevine support. As for the brightness, well, that display is absolutely face-charringly bright at its peak. So certainly seeing what you're doing outdoors, even on a very sunny day, not an issue. Certainly a lot more dazzling than the blue back end, that's for sure. Refresh rate maxes out at 120 Hz, as you would expect, so everything's nice and creamy smooth. It's not LTPO tech, however, and also one of my bugbears with the Edge 60 Pro is there's no always on display support. It's one of those annoying jobbies where you have to tap it or shift it about a bit to actually display the time and any waiting notifications. And you've got all the usual eye comfort mode shenanigans as well. Night light, which can automatically turn on at sunset, filters the blue light for a nice, comfortable, easy on the eye experience when you're doom scrolling at 2 AM. And you do have a flicker prevention feature as well. I believe it's 720 Hz PWM dimming, just in case you are more sensitive to that OLED flicker. And despite the curved edges of this screen, I found that the responsiveness isn't very often buggered up when I am clutching this thing in an absolute death grip. The only time I've actually had an issue is if I've been reclining on my back in bed or on the sofa or on the hard ground after far too much single malt. And occasionally then I will notice slightly skittish behaviour from that display, but then usually all I got to do is just slightly adjust my grip and it's absolutely fine. And in more good news, the Edge 60 Pro's display is still reasonably responsive. Even when it's rather moist, as you can see there, literally water dripping off the display, it's still working absolutely fine. Absolutely bugger all issues there. And the Edge 60 Pro naturally sports a stereo speaker setup. They're pretty loud, those blasters, but the clarity doesn't take much of a hit when you do pump the volume up. and that output is reasonably bassy for a slender smartphone at least. You got Dolby Atmos support, a bit of high-res audio, yada yada. I've had absolutely zero woes from the Bluetooth streaming on this thing as well to various speakers, earbuds, headphones, etc. No disruption, no distortion or anything. Now, Motorola's Edge 60 Pro is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 8350 Extreme chipset. And this seems to sport the same specs as the regular 8350 with the same 8 cores, the same Mali G615 GPU, same NPU, etc, etc. I was backed here by 12 gigs of RAM, and I certainly found that the everyday run-in was smooth enough, the camera was pretty responsive. And as for gaming, well, Wuthering Waves ran smoothly enough at the regular graphics settings, although things were occasionally a wee bit treacly when I did scale it up to the highest quality visuals. We're not talking about, proper full-on pauses or stumbles, thankfully. The game was perfectly playable. It's just that action wasn't quite as smooth as what you'll find on some rivals. Like the Poco F7 Ultra, for instance, with that Elite stuffed in there. Absolutely gorgeous gameplay. But also that audio was rather crackly at times, which was about as appealing to the ears as an Ed Sheeran pop fart. So I just knocked off the music, turned the sound right down while I was playing. And while the Moto Edge 60 Pro did get rather warm when it was gaming, thankfully it never quite reached finger scorching levels, and I didn't see any detrimental effects. So if you are a hardcore mobile gamer, you love a bit of the Genshin Impacts, the Wuthering Waves, you might want to look at the likes of the Poco F7 Ultra instead, but otherwise I was perfectly happy with the performance here. And the battery life, why, I was very happy indeed with that as well, because Motorola has somehow stuffed a 6,000 mAh capacity cell into this skinny wee git. I certainly found that most days, even when I was absolutely caning at this thing, plenty of camera play, hours and hours of screen on time, at least 6 or 7 hours of screen on time, I was still ending each day with at least 30% juice remaining in the tank. And if it was a bit more restrained with the usage, then I found I could happily make it through a full weekend without having to recharge the thing. And also, even if you do magically manage to run this thing down so it's sat in the very dregs of the remaining power, well, no worries, because you've got 90 watt turbocharge support, so just bung a cable in it for like 10 minutes, you probably have enough charge to get through the rest of the day. And yes, you do have a bit of 15 watt wireless charging support as well, and absolutely no issues there. And now, my pretties, let's end this discussion of the Motorola Edge 60 Pro with a squint at that camera tech. And what you've got right here is a 50 meg main shooter which uses Sony's Lightyear 700C sensor. And Motorola's recycled that from a few of last year's Edge 50 blowers, and it's an f1 over 1.56 inch sensor, so not the biggest. But anyway, I rather liked the mostly natural looking pictures chucked out by the regular auto mode. Unlike certain other flagship smartphones, these don't feel heavily processed or artificially brightened, even if that and the not exactly massive sensor does mean a bit of detail loss in dimmer light. High contrast snaps usually look lovely, and only occasionally will those tones look a wee bit bolder than in real life. If you swap to that portrait mode, you're offered a variety of focal length options, which all of course use the primary shooter, apart from the final 85mm option, which swaps to that telephoto. And regardless of your choice, you'll get some decent enough edge detection, usually works pretty well indoors as well. And the Edge 60 Pro also boasts a 50 meg ultra wide angle shooter, which is also used for macro snaps. And macro shooting is merely fine. You've got the autofocus, but you can't get too close to your subject. But otherwise, the ultra wide shooter, not bad at all, even though in softer light those colors do drain away. And then the final shooter here on the Edge 60 Pro is a 10 megapixel telephoto snapper with 3x optical zoom. And while this is no match for the telephoto shooter on some other flagship rivals, it is still massively useful for grabbing crispy portrait shots without crowding your subject. But you will want to stop zooming in long before the 50x ceiling because things get rather noisy. And sadly, a slightly disappointing video mode here on the Edge 60 Pro though, because this maxes out at 4K resolution at just 30 frames per second. You want that creamy 60 FPS action, you have to bump down the resolution to full HD, which is quite unusual at this sort of price point. So if you do shoot a lot of home movies, you'll want to look elsewhere for sure. The video results are absolutely fine. It's the audio pickup's decent, stability's alright and everything, but yeah. And it's the exact same story when you flip around to the front end of the Moto Edge 60 Pro with that 50 megapixel selfie shooter sadly once again tops off at 4K resolution at 30 frames per second. Does an alright job. Again, the audio pickup absolutely fine. And there you have it, my lovelies. That in a delicious wee nutshell is the fresh new Motorola Edge 60 Pro, a more affordable flagship alternative. I enjoyed my time with it. It's certainly not a perfect phone by any means, especially if you do shoot a lot of home movies or you are a dedicated hardcore gamer. You're probably going to want to look somewhere else. But besides that, it's a perfectly fantastic all-arounder. You've got excellent battery life on this thing. The performance is certainly good enough for everyday shenanigans. The design is stunning. I really like the software setup on here as well. Moto AI still in its early days, but still actually genuinely useful. So yes, there is a lot to love here. It's just a shame that there isn't slightly longer software support guaranteed. If you're after a cheaper alternative, well, Motorola also spaffed out the excellent Edge 60 Fusion, which is about half the price of this thing, but sports a similar funky design and lots of the same great features. I'd also heartily recommend checking out the likes of the Nothing Phone 3A Pro and the OnePlus Nord as well. Check out my full-on extensive video about the best mid-range mobiles you can grab yourself right now for a comprehensive look at all of that shenanigans. In the meantime, it'd be great to hear what you think of the Edge 60 Pro. Sorry, my bloody voice is going now. Great to hear what you think of the Edge 60 Pro and Motorola in general down in the comments below. Please do put... what the f***? I thought this video was going a bit too smoothly, and then the final minute everything's just gone batshit mental. Where was I? Poke subscribe, ding the notifications bell. I better bugger off now before the entire house explodes or something. Have a good one, love you!